The Arctic skies, once a quiet expanse of frozen isolation, are again becoming a theater of tension between major world powers. Over recent weeks, Russian bombers and fighter jets have been flying dangerously close to U.S. and Canadian airspace, sparking renewed fears that Cold War-style brinkmanship is resurfacing in one of the planet's most strategic and resource-rich regions. According to the North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, these encounters have grown increasingly frequent, revealing a steady rise in Moscow's assertive aerial activity. NORAD confirmed that two Russian Tu-95 nuclear-capable bombers, escorted by Su-35 fighter jets, were detected entering the Alaskan Air Defense Identification Zone, ADZ, an area where all foreign aircraft must identify themselves and state their intentions. When the Russian crews failed to respond, U.S. and Canadian forces scrambled several aircraft, including F-16 fighters, AWACS surveillance planes, and refueling tankers, to intercept and shadow the intruders. While the Russian planes did not breach sovereign airspace, officials said the pattern was provocative and deliberate. The Pentagon later emphasized that these flights have become routine tests of Western readiness. A U.S. defense spokesperson told Reuters that this was already the 9th such encounter since January 2025. Military analysts believe the move is part of Moscow's broader strategy to project power and keep pressure on the United States amid the ongoing war in Ukraine. These are not random patrols. They're signaling operations, retired U.S. Air Force Colonel Cedric Leighton told CNN. Russia wants to remind Washington that it still has the ability to reach North American skies. The Arctic remains critical for Russia's military and economic ambitions. With melting ice opening new sea routes and access to vast untapped oil and gas reserves, the Kremlin has poured billions into building air bases, radar stations, and missile facilities across the high north. According to the Washington Post, Moscow has reopened more than 50 Soviet-era outposts in the region since 2014 and continues to modernize its long-range aviation fleet station near Murmansk and the Kola Peninsula. These developments carry both symbolic and strategic weight. The Tu-95 bombers, relics of the Soviet era, are seen as icons of Moscow's enduring military pride. Flying the Bear bombers over the Arctic is not only about training. It's about nostalgia and signaling continuity, the BBC noted. By showcasing such aircraft, President Vladimir Putin aims to reassure domestic audiences that Russia's global might remains intact despite heavy battlefield losses in Ukraine. Washington and Ottawa, however, see these flights as dangerous provocations that risk unintended escalation. U.S. officials have warned that a miscommunication or close encounter in Arctic airspace could easily spiral into a crisis. The potential for miscalculation is higher than it has been in decades, said a Pentagon source quoted by the New York Times. Canada's Defense Minister Bill Blair also described the incidents as reckless behavior and urged Russia to respect international norms and boundaries. Political rhetoric in the U.S. has further fueled the debate. Former President Donald Trump, in a recent campaign speech, said NATO countries should be prepared to take decisive action if Russian aircraft violate Allied airspace. His comments, reported by CNN, were met with mixed reactions across Europe. Some NATO leaders viewed them as a necessary warning to Moscow, while others expressed concern that such remarks could heighten the risk of direct confrontation between nuclear powers. The Arctic standoff also mirrors a broader pattern of Russian provocations across Europe. Poland's defense ministry recently confirmed